All right, how's everyone again? It's Bob here, back with some little update on my channel and what we're doing here, or what I'm doing. It's a one-man operation as it stands here at Biker News Canada. I'm showing these guys behind me on the green screen. They've become mentors of mine. They've been very, very, very generous with their knowledge and their time. They each have their own channel, but the show runs on each of their channels. The man on the left is Black Dragon, so he's Black Dragon Biker News. And the man on the right is Mike Ball, Ball Valve TV, or Insane Wheels on YouTube. So like I say, these guys are selling my book. They've given me all the pointers, told me what programs and stuff I need to get. So I followed their advice. This weekend I'm going to get my personal computer back. On the advice of Mike Ball, I bought a 4K camera to make the videos. And there's a specific program that most of the YouTube guys and the podcast guys all use. And as I do a live show, it'll broadcast it across most of the platforms. You can't do TikTok because TikTok cuts you off at 10. And anyways, that'll get into editing, and I'll do TikTok a different way, because these videos that I'm doing now, including this one, I do all my videos as we speak on the TikTok app, which has been a good way to kind of figure out which way I want to go, figure out how to do it, and figure out how to make it interesting. They've got the green screen built right into the app. They've got captions built right into the app. So like I say, it got me started, got me comfortable. It got me so I want to continue. So I think that's a big part of it. You gotta be interested. You gotta want to continue, and then being interested will make you do the kind of videos that your audience is interested in watching. So the other option is if I'm not so the way I'm setting it up is so I can do interviews. I want to interview the clubs, members of the club, the leadership of the club, about the events that I'm speaking about. So stuff like Poker Run, hosted by so and so riding club from such and such. We'll do an interview about it. So there has been various members of different riding clubs or riding groups or riding associations. There's even a Masonic order, the Skull and Bones, that I've spoken with, and I've covered their events that are coming up. And I've kind of, online relationships, but I'm starting to develop different relationships with different people in different organizations. So these will be the people. I'm going to start sending out messages. Once I've got everything figured out, I know 100% that I'm going to do an interview, and it's going to get out there to the people and not get lost in the dark abyss of the internet somewhere because I hit a wrong button or something. So that is my intention at this point. And there's tons and tons and tons of stuff going on across this great country of ours. I do want to stick to obviously for charity events and stuff like that, stuff in Canada. If I'm out doing a news story, it'll be from wherever it's from. Again, I'll leave the news up to other people for the most part. If it's right there and it's a biker story, I'll cover it. I have no choice, but I do have a choice. But anyway, I feel it's part of what I do, since I call myself and my channel is Biker News Canada. If there's news out there, I should at least mention it. Only thing I always find about news, and being a retired member of a big 1% club, is the only time that bikers make the news generally is an arrest, a death, an act of violence. There's not too much good news stories about motorcycle clubs in any of the mainstream media that you'll find out there. That's why I'm doing the videos I do. I just want to show everyone that there's a different side of bikers. I'm sure that people in the biker community know that, but people in the general public don't know that. And there's for us people that are maybe you guys haven't been around, but for guys like me who've been around, and there's 1% clubs, and they got the 1% diamond on their patch, and their sets of colors, and they got the club name, the logo, in their area, region, or however you want to call it, on the bottom rocker, and all that stuff. It all means something in the biker world. There's been lots of people out there that kick it down the road about protocol and how to run a club, or bylaws, and what kind of rules there are usually in different motorcycle clubs and all that. So I'll probably stay out of that. I'll mention my book. I'll mention some personal stories once in a while. I'll do some biker news. I'm really interested though in getting some interviews. I've actually got some interviews with some other people. There's a lady who was born missing part of a limb or arm, and she's had a motorcycle all custom built so she can ride, and I think she actually gives motorcycle lessons. Like, she's an instructor at a motorcycle riding school. So she's offered to come and do an interview, and I'm very interested in hearing from her. The young man behind me there on the green screen on the right, or I guess it would be my right, Mike Ball. He was in a motorcycle accident not too long ago, a few years ago maybe, and he lost from his knee down his left leg, and he didn't pass out, and he's got a wild story. So no, this lady didn't lose her limbs on an accident, but I'm interested in speaking with her, and she's obviously got love for motorcycles. She got her bike custom transformed so she can ride it, and she teaches lessons. So she loves her motorcycle. So I'm dying to speak to her. Again, I'm not going to do it until I've figured everything out and it goes polished. And it looks good and it sounds good. And the other option, of course, is instead of two people on the screen, there can be my face on one side and the poster for the bike event on the other side, instead of on the green screen behind me. And a lot of my videos, I move on my head so you can see email addresses. So we will eliminate that also. Just want to polish it up. I'm really kind of aiming towards the YouTube audience. And speaking of YouTube, anyone who's subscribed to my channel, I really want to say thank you from the bottom of my heart. I'm humbled, I'm honored, and thank you. It means a lot to. There's certain thresholds. I'm not trying to get to a certain point and hoping that YouTube pays me or whatever the hell happens. I just want to make sure that the people who watch me because they like this sort of content and they ride motorcycles. I want to tell as many of the events, as many as I can find, all of them I can find, what's going on in your part of the country, what's going on around you. You can go find some other people that are like you or that you can become friends with and that you can go riding with. I'm going to focus on the weekly rides. Pretty much every city's got at least one or two rides going through the week. I'll make sure everyone's up to date on that. I kicked around the idea of printing a calendar, and it's too late in the season, so I'm going to try to work on that next year. I'll work on it right away in January and see if I can get the events into me and onto a poster, and then we can figure out how we can sell them or get them out to the public, put some advertising on, all that sort of stuff. That'll be coming down the road at some point, right? The second book's coming down the road also. So a lot of stuff coming on. I just want to kind of give you an update, give you kind of a glimpse at the format I'm kind of shooting for from these two guys, biker